Hi, it's Nick Shell, and I talk about hair loss and people watch my videos. Not that I'm really an expert, but when you make over 700 videos on hair loss, I guess you kind of by default become somewhat of just a seasoned host on the subject, right? Speaking of host, today I have a special guest, special co-host, and that is Teddy Ruxpin. He's going to talk about his thoughts on hair loss. I'm just joking. Not really. I'm not really going to have him on here, but I'm going to toss him on the bed. And it was a safe landing. This is a quicker video today. I want to ask you, if it were up to you, if you could choose this, here's what I'm going to propose to you. You have two options. You could let's say before you were born, you could kind of fill out the paperwork, but you had to choose one thing or the other, and neither of them are ideal. Here's option number one. Option number one is that you as a man will only grow to be 5'5". Why did I choose that? The average American woman apparently is 5'4". So you get to be only 1 inch taller than the average woman. I'm 5'9". I'm not tall. I'm like Robert Downey Jr., Steve Carell. They're 5'9". No one would ever refer to us as tall, but we're not really necessarily short either. But 5'5" would be 4 inches shorter than me. So 5'5". Process how. I mean, that's like, I think like Dustin Hoffman, right? Somewhere along in that range, 5'5". So, and I think Bruno Mars maybe. But anyway, it means you're absolutely undeniably vertically challenged as a man. You're short, okay? So 5'5". But the plus side is you will have the perfect head of hair. You will never recede. You will never thin out. We'll even throw in your hair type. Whatever. Do you want like kind of wavy hair that you don't really have to worry about styling too much? Whatever you want, whatever the perfect head of hair. The worst that could go wrong is that you get a bad haircut, and guess what? It grows back, and that's the end of it. So your options are: you could be born with perfect head of hair, but you'd only grow to 5'5". Would you take that option, or would you rather just play the, roll the dice and see what happens? Meaning that you could grow taller than 5'5", which you probably will, and you could even keep your hair and have that perfect hair, but the chances of that are very unlikely. So ultimately what I'm asking you this, and I probably should have said this in the opening line, but what I'm saying to you is, would it be worth it to have the perfect head of hair that you never lose if it meant that you sacrificed your height for it? 5'5", if I'm 5'9", I've actually got to stand back to get, okay, so if I'm 5'9", like 5'5", what would be like something like this? 5'5", would you trade in your height now to be only 5'5" but have the perfect head of hair? So would you trade in your hair for that? Or does hair matter that much? What matters more to you? Your hair or your height? But specifically, I'm making this hard because I'm saying 5'5". That's really short. And I'm sure that there are also on YouTube, there's plenty of men, plenty of other YouTubers, male YouTubers, who have their own hundreds of videos about being a short man. And what do I want to do about it? Do I wear shoes, or do I get that? There's a surgery you can do to extend your height. In an alternate universe, well, actually in this same universe, I'm sure that there's guys just like me that are 5'5", and they kind of do their own support group. Because I mean, I can imagine as a man how that would affect your confidence level, and it would affect how you see yourself, dating. Like, oh wow, well, what if they're all taller than me, that sort of thing. I can put myself in that shoes, and I hope to no degree am I being disrespectful to men who are 5'5" or shorter or right. That's not it at all. I just want to know how much hair really means to us. Does it mean so much that we would trade in our height? That's my question. I'm trying to think if I know the answer to that. I mean, I think for me personally, I would just choose to to play the odds like I already did, and end up the way I am. I think that it would take more confidence, and it would take more from within for me to overcome that hurdle of being 5'5", is what I think. I think that I can handle going bald better than I could being short. I think that would hurt my confidence, but I don't know. And again, no disrespect for men who are short. It's just, I think those are two traits for men in particular that really have a lot to do with their confidence, and you really can't control. And the reason I thought about this is because, yeah, when I was in high school, I thought, because I stopped growing basically when I was in 8th grade. I mean, I can wear the same shirts I wore in 8th grade. And I thought, oh, man, all my friends are like 6 foot tall now and growing, and I'm like the short guy in the group, you know. And so it took me years to realize, okay, I'm not going to get any taller. And then that was about the same amount of, like around the same time I realized I wasn't going to grow as I realized, and my hairline's starting to go up too. So, 5'5". Would you do that? Would you agree to only grow to be 5'5" if you meant you had the perfect amount of hair? I've kept this conversation going just to kind of color it in there for us there. So I'm pretty sure I would not choose to be 5'5" and have perfect hair, but I don't know about you, and I think it's a relevant conversation. So I definitely want to know what you are going to say in the comments here. Let's see, just to kind of gauge this, what matters more to us? Having perfect hair that never falls out or thins, but at the same time trading in our height and being shorter than most men and taller than the average woman, but also shorter than, I mean, because my wife's 5'6". So if I was 5'5", I'd be shorter than her. Not that that would matter. If my wife was 5'10" or 5'11" or 6 foot, I wouldn't care. It never bothered me how tall a girl was. I wasn't challenged by that. At 5'9", I can't speak for being 5'5". I don't know. And there's a good chance that there's guys out here who are watching this thinking, well, man, Nick, now I've got the worst of both worlds because I'm only 5'5" and I'm losing my hair. I'm sorry. I don't know how to help you with that. But let's answer this question. Let's figure out what we value more, our hair or our height. You decide in the comments. Would you choose to be 5'5" and have perfect hair? Or no, would you rather just roll the dice and take the plunge like you already have and just be born the way you are and see what happens? Which would you do? I'm Nick Shell. I talk about hair, and I'm not important or special.